and the Lugos group, Lugo. Draw a line in the middle. Okay, let the games begin. Okay. This is going to be a free-for-all. Which side answers this correct answer starts the game. In an elderly client, physical assessment, what changes are included? Don't put your hand up, answer.
Skin,
Thank you.
Thick
Hair,
nails.
Skin,
Thick nails.
nails,
hair,
hair. All right. Who
Loss
said
of
which
hair,
group?
alopecia.
Which group said hair? You're saying alopecia, meaning what?
loss of hair.
Loss of hair. We'll start with the right answer. 50 people surveyed, and the right answer is thinning of hair. Okay, so she gets 50 points.
Amber, I'll give you my notes.
Thank you.
Just don't write in shorthand.
The hobby group were not incorrect. They get 5 points. Please remember that you've got here, 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 here.
One of those reviews.
Okay. All right. Okay.
My personal choice.
Keep going. Go move.
Okay. So for 10 more points, can you tell me the areas where hair is lost?
Pubic
The
armpit.
head.
Thank you. 10 points goes to Lugo.
Which is that?
Pubic, armpit,
hair.
and head.
Head.
Scalp.
Armpits too?
All right, we don't have time to do this. I've only got till 3 because you guys are going to ask me questions. All right, reminiscence. Reminiscence. Does everybody know what reminiscence means?
Yes.
Reminiscence is a skill needed for coping, usually with what changes in the elderly.
Memory loss. Short-term memory loss.
Okay?
Loss of loved one.
Dementia.
Loss of loved ones. What else do they lose? The elderly.
Companion.
Good?
Mental.
Long-term memory, short-term.
All right?
Use long-term.
They're coping with the loss. Doesn't have to be, thank you. Number 1 answer.
What?
Loss of
25 points.
Loss of home?
They're coping with the loss of home. All right, so as a nursing skill, if you have someone that has lost their home and move into any kind of facility, you're going to help them to reminisce. Okay, very good. They're coping with the loss of home. Number 1 answer. Okay, for bonus point, and we're playing with this group because they had the number 1 answer. Bonus point. And you've got several bonuses, 20 points each. For an elderly client, and I'm not saying which elderly client, what are one of the tests that's done to make sure you test for
Mammogram.
cancer? What is it?
Mammogram.
Mammogram, at what age?
50.
5?
She gets 25 points.
PSA.
Colonoscopy.
Very good. Number 1 answer, 50 points. PSA, 50 points. Number 1 answer.
Mammogram.
One of the yearly tests, especially for males, is a PSA to test for prostate cancer. All right? We'll come back to mammograms. All right, hobby group, come on, let's move it. What are some of the vaccines that are recommended for the elderly?
Influenza.
Influenza,
Pneumonia.
pneumonia, very good. Those 2 are very good points. So they both answered together, so they get 25 points each. All right. Let's cover some. No. ESF. What does ESF mean? 15 points for the person who group who answered. ESF. ESF. ECF. 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 Thank you. Extracellular fluid,
Oh,
50
who said that?
points.
Which genius over there said it?
50 points to the Harvey group. All right. All right. Another 20 points if the Harvey group can tell me, or the Harvey group is playing now. 1,000 nurses' aides were surveyed. And this is what they say they had to do for their nurses when the nurses assessed extracellular fluid was a problem with their patient. What did they have to do to that patient to make sure that, thank you?
Weigh
Did
them.
you say?
Weigh
Thank
them.
you. Daily weight, 20 points. What else did the nurse have to do, or the aide have to do?
Strict eyes and nose.
Strict eyes and nose, you get no points for that. That was the least that was surveyed, but that was okay. What else do they have to check for? Anybody? Thank you. An extra 10 points goes to this group. They have to check for edema. The fluid settles somewhere. It's extracellular. Thank you. The number one answer is weight, and the bonus answer is edema. Weight and edema for extracellular fluid. ECF, yeah, your CNA. I hope the CNA will come and tell you. Miss Mary, patient in number, I noticed that her foot is swollen, and it wasn't swollen when I started the beginning of the shift. Hello?
How many questions are on the test?
Thank you. Edema. All right. Can you please tell me, any group now is going to play. 400 students were surveyed, and if you guys are playing, I'm going to stop. 400 people were surveyed, and you're not paying any attention, so I don't know what's the point of doing this. 400 people were surveyed, and in the elderly, what goes wrong when they can become dehydrated easily?
Confusion. Mental confusion.
No, what goes wrong in the elderly when they can become dehydrated easily?
They're
Vitals.
You mean what happens that makes them dehydrated?
What goes wrong in the body as an elderly person? What goes wrong?
their levels are off or something.
Their what?
Their kidneys stop.
No, what regulates that, all of those things?
Hypothalamus.
Thank you. So the hypothalamus, which is the mechanism for dehydration, is decreased. So the thirst mechanism, so you get 50 points. The thirst mechanism is decreased. All right, and it's the hypothalamus. Very good. So there are risks for dehydration related to a decrease in the thirst mechanism, which is the hypothalamus. I didn't ask you signs and symptoms. All right? But now I will. I'm going to ask you the questions. Tell me what are the signs and symptoms that would cause metabolic alkalosis? What are some of the signs and symptoms that would cause metabolic alkalosis? Thank you.
Vomiting.
Diarrhea and vomiting, thank you. Okay, bonus point for telling me, is it just one time? I mean, if I just have diarrhea and vomiting.
No,
for-
it's.
Okay, how many, tell me. Diarrhea and vomiting for,
24-hour period.
no, that's not
48.
enough.
48.
3 days.
Thank you.
It was 3 days.
Very good. 25 points to Lucy. For several days. It takes a while before you get into metabolic alkalosis. What?
She wrote Lucy up.
No, don't write. All right, very good, very good. Those are all the questions on that
So
one.
how many
Okay.
points do they get for answering it right?
I gave her
Oh.
20.
She gave
She
me
gave it
20.
already, yeah.
People get bus points, it's me, I'm a member.
She's looking out for the next man. All right.
Thanks.
Tell me this. Which gland in your body, and anybody can answer this, 34 nurses in Newport Richey were surveyed, and 35 of them answered this question correctly. Which gland in the body is responsible to regulate calcium?
Thyroid gland.
Memory.
Parathyroid. Parathyroid.
Yes.
Like the memory gland.
It regulates calcium.
I'm on this side, so.
She's on that side.
Oh, okay.
Which gland in the body regulates calcium?
All right, 50 points.
Parathyroid.
Parathyroid. All right, so can anybody tell me, and anybody's game now, when these 35 nurses were surveyed, they had, because there was so little on the population, they went up to Hudson, and 50 nurses and 4 CNAs said, these are the symptoms of hypocalcemia. And you get, depending on who answers which one first, depending on the points. Hypocalcemia.
Osteoporosis.
Signs and
Symptoms of
symptoms.
hypocalcemia.
Brittle
What's the
bones.
symptom?
Brittle bones, broken
What is
bones.
the symptom?
Fracture.
What is the symptom?
Broken bone.
No.
No, it's symptoms.
Weakness.
Weak bones. Weakness.
Weakness.
bone weakness.
What is it?
Positive chopstick signs.
What is that? What's it called? Begins with what? T. What's it called?
When
What's
you,
it called? Come on, you're on the right track.
when you
Begins
tap,
with-
when you
It
tap
begins
here, you
with
have
T. What is
facial
it
twitches.
called? What is it called? Tetany.
Tremors.
Tetany, and give him 40 points. What's the next one? He's on the right track. What's the next one? Tetany. What's the next one? Your group is playing.
Apparently.
What's the next one?
If you put a blood pressure cuff on their muscle, and leave it on for a minute or two, their fingers will twitch.
So what's that called?
Twitching?
I'm not gonna give you that, but what's it
Spasm.
called?
Spasms.
Or
Muscle spasms.
cramps.
Cramps.
It's the same thing. Cramps.
Got your back.
5 points. I want one more. And you're on the right track.
Keep going, Jesse.
Come on, Nancy.
Begins with another T. When you get pins and needles, you get what?
Tingling.
Thank you. All right. 10 points. Okay, everybody getting this? The signs and symptoms of hypocalcemia, not with a K but a C. We're talking about parathyroids. We're talking about calcium. All right? You get that? All right. I don't have any bonus points on this one. All right, let's move along to grieving and end of life. 30 points. The group who answered this. You're talking to a lady and her mother is passing away. It's the end of life. She's getting ready to put all her papers and everything in order. And she says, the nurse went and asked her if she can help. And she says, no, I can cope with this. What stage of grief? Thank you. What?
Accepted.
30 points. 30 points. Stage of grieving.
Acceptance.
A stage of grieving when their family members say, I can cope, is acceptance. Okay? I can cope. 30 points. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story now, and it has to do with 1,000 healthcare workers. Everybody, remember you have a team, was surveyed. And they agreed to let the family help in the end of life. So the nurse came in and the family member said, I'd really like to help in cleaning my mom.